Hi there, Physics 152. Now that you're in the second half of the semester and doing the last 5 practicals, you'll notice that you're at a different pod and you'll be sitting with some different students. And I've just had a meeting with your TAs and we've come up with a couple of slight modifications to how the roles are going to work. So let me go over that. Remember, the basic idea is that every week, each student at a pod should contribute to the practical activities and should understand all aspects of what is being recorded in the term booklet for marking. However, in order to promote efficient and equitable teamwork, students will choose to take on a specific role to help organize who takes the lead in different aspects of the activities. So the first new rule is that you must write your roll number and first name on the pod whiteboard. So the TAs and I and all the pod members can, at a glance at any point, see who is responsible for what. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and just write your names. The roles, remember, are 1 is manager, 2 is archivist, 3 is the lead theorist, and 4 is the lead experimentalist. Now, if you have a pod of only 3 students, then somebody has to share the roles of manager and archivist. That's a pretty big responsibility. So it would be role 5, and that counts as a 1 or a 2. If you have a pod of 2, then somebody shares the role of theorist and experimentalist, and that's role 6, which counts as either a 3 or a 4. And the way it works is you need to gather 2 of each role on the items listed on the Quarkus by the end of the semester. So if you do the same role for a 3rd time, it doesn't really count. But as long as you get 2 of each, it goes up to a maximum of 24. 3 points for each role that you do, so a maximum of 6 points each time you do a different role, up to a maximum of 24. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's review the roles duties. So as the manager, you log on to the pod computer, you open Quarkus and display the tasks on the screen, or you can use, maybe share the whiteboard. Manage the time spent on each activity. Keep an eye on the clock. Make sure that you are using your 2 hours efficiently. Suggest the delegation of tasks. Maybe you could be in charge of going over to the printer and grabbing printouts, which you need to go into the term booklet. Just try to make sure all the members are able to contribute. And a new thing I'd like to add, extra responsibility for managers, is to fill out the 1-paragraph manager survey on Quarkus at the end of practical. This should only take 5 minutes. Just type in how things went, any little notes or important things for your marking TA to look at. Just a way of kind of summarizing what were the hard activities, anything that you think your TA should know about. Archivist, this is really one of the more difficult roles, sort of the most responsible role. This person should be the main person taking notes in the term booklet, which is what's for marks. Don't forget to number the pages, include dates, write everyone's name on the front of the term booklet, including their roles. Staple in the printouts that the manager may have produced. And a new thing is that now if the theorist writes out some stuff on loose leaf, you can also staple that in, so to try to reduce a little bit of what your responsibilities are as an archivist. Okay, so the lead theorist, there's a special video for you each week to look at and before you come, if you know you're going to be a theorist, and in which I try to describe some of the theory behind what you're doing. You find relevant pages in the textbook, maybe use the whiteboard to write down some of the stuff, but the new theorist responsibility is that if there is relevant theory or theoretical predictions or answers to the questions in the write-up, you can write it on loose paper so the archivist can then staple it into the term booklet to kind of try to help your archivist out. The lead experimentalist, there's really no changes here. I've definitely tried to watch that video about the apparatus and the setup. Take a lead on plugging things in, fixing things, setting up the apparatus, making those measurements. estimating your uncertainties, but you're also, as an experimentalist, you got to kind of delegate out a little bit. Okay, let's work together and make these measurements. You're in charge of, getting the apparatus working and making the measurements, but you're going to need help, right, to make these measurements. So work with your teammates when possible to make the measuring process more efficient. So hope that helps, and have a great week. Take care. Bye.